In the heart of West Africa, where the Niger River winds through ancient cities and musical traditions run as deep as history itself, one voice has soared above the rest. A voice of strength, of truth, of Africa's daughters. This is the story of Oumou Sangaré, the songbird of Mali, a legend born not only of music, but of resilience, pride, and purpose. Oumou Sangaré was born on February 25, 1968, in Bamako, the bustling capital of Mali. Her family roots trace back to Wassoulou, a region in southern Mali rich in cultural heritage and music, a region whose musical traditions would become the soul of her sound. Her father was also a musician, a traditional singer known for his powerful voice. But Oumou's early life was anything but easy. When she was just 2 years old, her father left the family to marry another woman and move to Côte d'Ivoire, leaving her mother, Aminata Diakité, to raise Oumou and her siblings alone. This painful experience of abandonment would shape not only Oumou's childhood, but also her art. Her mother worked hard to provide for the family, selling goods in the market, a reality Oumou would later reflect on in her songs. Even as a young girl, she was determined not to live a life defined by silence or submission. Oumou's musical gift was undeniable from a young age. By the age of 5, she was already singing at weddings. Her talent was not trained in formal schools or studios. It was forged in real life, in ceremonies and celebrations, where music was both ritual and resistance. At 16, she joined the musical troupe of the district of Bamako, and her reputation quickly began to grow. She toured France in 1986 with the troupe, catching the attention of music producers and cultural promoters. But it was upon her return to Mali that she would record the album that would change everything. In 1989, Oumou Sangaré released her first album titled Mousselou, which means women in Bambara. It was more than just a debut, it was a cultural earthquake. The album sold over 200,000 copies in Africa alone, a staggering number for a traditional artist at the time. But it was the message that set her apart. In a society where women were often expected to remain quiet and submissive, Oumou used her music to speak for them. She tackled subjects like polygamy, child marriage, forced marriages, and women's independence, themes that were taboo but deeply personal. Songs like Diarabi Nene and Ndia became anthems not only in Mali but across West Africa. Oumou's voice wasn't just beautiful, it was bold. She became the voice of Wassoulou women, demanding equality, respect, and dignity. By the 1990s, Oumou Sangaré had become an international sensation. She toured across Europe, North America, and Asia, performing at iconic festivals and venues. She signed with World Circuit Records, the same label that promoted Malian greats like Ali Farka Touré and Toumani Diabaté. Her global fans fell in love not only with her music, but with her mission. She collaborated with artists like Tony Allen, Bela Fleck, and Herbie Hancock, blending her powerful Wassoulou sound with jazz, funk, and world music influences, all without losing her identity. Her 2009 album Seya was nominated for a Grammy Award, bringing her even more international acclaim. Oumou Sangaré has never been just an artist. She's a fierce advocate for women's rights, especially in Africa. Through her music, interviews, and activism, she's pushed against patriarchal norms and encouraged African women to take control of their lives and destinies. But her activism doesn't stop with words. She's also an entrepreneur and role model. She owns the Hotel Wassoulou in Bamako, a venue that serves as a cultural space for music and local art. She launched the Sang car line, becoming one of the first African female celebrities to venture into the automobile business. She supports girls' education and often funds local projects in her home region to promote economic independence for women. Oumou once said, "You can't call yourself a feminist and do nothing. I work, I fight, I invest. I try to create paths for other women." Over the years, Oumou Sangaré has been showered with awards and honors. In 2001, she was named a UN FAO Goodwill Ambassador for her work in fighting hunger and promoting women's empowerment. She won the UNESCO International Music Prize. Her 2020 album Acoustic and 2022's Timbuktu were hailed as masterful works, blending tradition with modernity. In 2023, she was awarded the Premium Imperial by the Japan Art Association, often considered the Nobel Prize for the arts. Even now, in her 50s, Oumou Sangaré continues to perform and create with passion. She remains true to her roots, singing in Bambara, using traditional instruments like the kamele ngoni, and telling stories of her people. Yet her music is timeless, resonating with new generations across Africa and beyond. She has proven that African women can be powerful, heard, and global, without ever leaving their cultural identity behind. Oumou Sangaré's journey is not just the story of a singer, it's the story of a movement. A girl abandoned by her father became the mother of a musical revolution. A voice from Wassoulou became the voice of African womanhood. Her songs are not just melodies, they are manifestos. From the dusty streets of Bamako to the world's grandest stages, Oumou Sangaré stands as a true icon of Africa. Fierce, proud, and unforgettable.